Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Oracle Does Gaming here, and today I decided to talk about something quite different today, actually. Today we're gonna be talking about we're gonna be doing an anime review, and we're gonna be talking about a certain anime that I just started watching. And boy, let me tell you, this shit is like worst part for me. Now, this is I clearly didn't remember the name properly, but it's called the Promised Neverland. You know, it's almost like the I almost said Harry Potter, the Peter Pan. So much Peter. You can't memorize all the Peters. No, I'm talking about it's almost like the thing in Peter Pan, the Promised Neverland, but this is just called the Promised Neverland. So, boy, when I was watching this first episode, I did not know what to expect. I was completely blank. And the animation style was like light, it was Gucci, it was real cool, it was badass, it had a lot of kawaii kids, it's all about kids. And we start the episode with the introduction of 3 kids. We got the names already, but that doesn't matter. Bear with me, it's because I'm just here to give my opinion. But after that introduction to the 3 kids, we get switched to a scene which looks like an orphanage. Cool. Let me emphasize the word look. It looks like an orphanage. Looks. Okay? So, yeah, it looks like an orphanage. I'm sorry, by the way, if I'm a little bit slow today. I just kind of got outside. I literally just entered my room, took off my shoes, and said, you know what, I'm gonna record. And I clicked the record button, and I started recording. Now, and we get switched to this orphanage, and there's this one maid, and we get, actually before that, we get introduced to more children, and we realize that this thing really looks like an orphanage, except voice crack, puberty, late bloomers. Fuck, I'm already supposed to be 20 actually. It's gonna be my birthday on a bit of August, but I still sound like a little shit. Okay, enough about me, but it looks like an orphanage. There are kids. The 3 kids are there, the one we saw at the introduction where there's a cage. But now, the weird thing about this is, if this is an orphanage, why were there marked numbers there? There were like coding numbers. And we get a little bit of hint that this might not be an orphanage. Now, when I was seeing the numbers, the first thing that entered my mind was, this is not an orphanage. I thought it was an orphanage, but they had the serial numbers on them. Unless this orphanage has a weird habit of putting serial numbers on children, I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that. That's a bad way of making a plot. My first assumption was this was either a post-apocalyptic world where they clone children's, and these children are probably the last remaining human beings on the planet, and they're in need to be cooped in a house, and this house is like an sort of orphanage, but it's not actually an orphanage because there are cages in it. And then then they are being kept there, and they're ignorant of what's outside, what's happening outside, and yeah, that's what happens. But no, that's not what happens, which is why it blew me even more off. It threw me really off the window. Like, the window's right there. It's like, hey, look, it's a great, nice, pretty anime with nice art style. And then after that, we switch to the serial numbers. Oh, it might not be that nice. And then the following few minutes, we're just going, BAM! This isn't nice at all. This ain't even Gucci. This ain't even about being cute and kawaii. The animation style will trick you into believing that. But boy, when I tell you, the facial expressions are on point. That is artist's dream. To get that kind of animation style and that kind of expression built up, that kind of flow, that kind of movement that those people were doing. It wasn't very revolutionary, but the expressions made it something else, something out of the box. You know what I'm saying? Now, talking about the first episode again, we get switched to this table, this dining hall where there are lots of children eating, and we get used to a maid which they call mother, Okasang. They call them Okasang, but in the subtitles it was called mom for me. But I'll call it mother because this seems to be the fitting name for Okasang. So we get introduced to this. She's a kind lady that takes care of her children and says nice stuff about the kids, and then actually teaches the kids, which is another hint, by the way. It's almost another hint actually, that why would the mother or the one taking care of them wear a maid suit? B, teach them instead of letting them go outside and go to school like a regular children. Isn't that a bit weird for you guys? So, it certainly is giving this post-apocalyptic vibe at this point for me. So like, I am definitely sure I can bank on this, that this is a post-apocalyptic story, and that the children will go outside and see a city broken, a world broken down, run down by like nothing but tracks, and they're gonna realize that they're the last remaining humans on this planet, including their Okasang, and they're gonna freak the fuck out, and they're gonna do something random shit that will change their lives, and they're gonna be like happy greeting. They're gonna make babies with their fellow friends in the future anime series. I was already thinking 10 steps ahead when I shouldn't be doing that, because now when I got caught off guard, I was really shocked. And I'll get to my reaction to what happened afterwards, so that I can actually build up what happened. So we get switched to the playground a few minutes later, and after the whole showing of the lifestyle of the quote-unquote orphanage, and we get to see the 3 children again show off their skills. Actually, in the previous part where they were taking us test in the school thing, where the Okasang was teaching them, and then Okasang gave them a test. Those 3 came out as the top 3 smartest and most perfect students to take on the test, by the way. And we get to this part now in the playground, and one of the boys, the kind of tannish, almost dark Asian colored skin guy, I think his name was Don. And he challenged one of the 3 kids, the one with the white hair, to play tag. And of course, surprise, surprise, he won. Except he didn't get the last one, the third person on the top 3 children we saw in the first clip of the opening sequence of the story. The lady, the little girl with the blonde-esque orange hair, and she's actually very athletic, and whilst the white guy is just plain smart, very tactful, but the other one was smart and athletic. But there's this one gullible thing about the little girl. The little girl is very vulnerable to being tricked because she is quote-unquote too kind or too nice. So this white-haired kid decides to play a trick that he's tripped. And the little girl watching on top of a tree decided to go down and say, "Hey, are you okay? Oh no!" And then the white-haired kid gets up and said, "Gotcha!" And I was like, "Hey, you're it! I got you! I tricked you again!" And the second kid who didn't join, but rather just timed the entire game, said, "That's your one problem. You are always being tricked by him. And that's because you're very gullible and you're very nice. You're too trusting." And that's what kind of builds up. It was supposed to build up something. If you're good at hinting stuff, it was already giving a hint that someone here isn't what you think he or she is. So we proceed now to the kids like wondering, oh, playing another round of tag, and it's suddenly stopping because they see the fence again. And then this time the second kid who didn't join the tag said, "There's nothing else. There's nothing dangerous outside." And then the two other kids are keeping wondering, "Oh, what's outside? I wonder what's gonna happen if we're gonna adopt it. Oh, maybe we're gonna get like some good friends. Oh, I wanna be like a good traveler who will round the world and see everything around it, and will see the beauty of this land." And then that's not their voice, by the way. That's just me being overacting. And then this other kid that Don actually is very close to the previous guy that challenged the white-haired kid to a tag Yurit King, and said that was actually gonna get adopted, and said that no matter what happens, I will always write back to you. Like, she was this little cute little girl. This was this little cute little girl. Like, she's the smallest and youngest among all of them. I think it was so kawaii. This little girl, her character design was so cute. And she was the first one to get adopted in the story that we started on, and she was like, and everyone was sad because I remember that. By the way, this kid's little cute girl's name is Connie, I think. Connie. Conny, Connie, or Connie. I don't know which one is pronounced which, but I think it's Connie. So, Connie, at late midnight, the children were saying goodbyes to their beloved friend, their beloved little tiny Emoto, Connie, which was about to get adopted. I'm sorry. So Okasang decides to wait out for a while until the kids have finally said their goodbyes. Then Okasang takes Connie and brings her to quote unquote beyond the fence. And that's the last time well, that's not the last time actually we've seen of her, but after a few minutes actually have passed by when we didn't see what happened to her. We just switched to the sequence where Okasang was walking with Connie to the fence gate, to the gate where it's supposed to be beyond the fence or the cage that they were in. And in this sequence, Okasang was just giving this really creepy hum. This creepy I think that's how it went, but it was really creepy. There was this creepy-esque vibe to it. And if you are really good at catching stuff, and by the way, I did not catch this. I did not catch any of this in my head, which is why I got completely thrown off. If you're good at catching things, though, you would have noticed, though, how it was building it up, the story. I mean, for the first episode. At first, they were giving hints and stuff that this was not just your regular old orphanage, and then we get switched to a sequence where the second kid, the emo kid, the smart one, the second smart kid, was giving a debate or a lecture to the other girl about trust. That you are too trustworthy, and it brings up a topic about trust. So now, combining the two, you're gonna get the vibe that something is not right here, and then follow up with the sequence of Connie leaving beyond the fence gate that they were supposed to never leave until they get adopted. That's quite very, how would I say, weird. But, and then we get the sequence of just the Okasang or the maid humming creepily with that creepy echo in the background. You kind of get the piece. You kind of get the idea of what is being played on here, boys. But let's switch back to the orphanage for a while. So we are on the orphanage, and everyone was saying their goodbyes to Connie, and they were already at their time in their beds. Supposedly they needed to sleep. But one of the girls, the orange blonde hair athletic girl a while ago that was quote unquote gullible and easily trusting, saw in a dining hall that uh, they left. Uh, Connie left her teddy bear that she always carries around her. And she was like, "Oh no! Oh no, Connie's teddy bear! We must go to the fence and get and disobey Opossum's telling and actually give this teddy bear back to Connie." And the second tactful guy is like said, "You might actually have time before they leave. So I suggest you run." And then the white haired kid decides, "I'll tag along. What about you, black haired kid that is always emo and sad?" Black haired emo kid says, "Oh no, I'll stay here. I'll get this lantern and just roam around the orphanage like a fucking idiot." No, I'm kidding. I'm just being exaggerative here. But the two leave, leaving the one smart kid, the very emo tactful guy, in the orphanage, and then this two decides to follow along the trail and go beyond the gate, and then they see the world outside for the first time, and they actually see a vehicle for the first time, and then they see this truck, and they investigate it, and they open the gate. They open that thing, like that car crate gate behind a truck, and this is where this is where I start to give a warning. By the way, this is where I should give a warning. If you are easily shocked by shit that are said by just words, if I'm just gonna say this and you're gonna get shocked, you shouldn't watch this anime because the visuals are more fucked up. Now, when they open the crate and we see little Connie dead, eyes openly, like really open, like the point of like she got traumatized or choked the fuck out, and then her eyes just went like really big before dying, and saying this on a girl, like I think she was 8. Well, my reaction was like, Jesus fucking Christ, what the I was like, what the fuck? Dude, that is sickening. What is this? It's like, this is not what I expected. I expected that girl to be caged, like bondage, probably abused and slapped, but not dead and terribly, grotesquely open eye, like traumatized death look, facial expression, which is why I want to tell you how good facial expression that this was drawn, no matter how fucked up it is. It was Gucci. Oh boy. Like the way they drawn that was like the kids the kid didn't like the kid died not even knowing what the hell was going on. It's like she was just like open eyed, and then it seems like this expression was giving that this kid lost all hope and trust before she died, and she had felt fear in him. Like the facial expression said 1,000 pictures on how this kid died, and which is even more fucked up because in the first few sequences, this little kid Connie was just like, "I love you guys, I love you all. Nothing's gonna bad happen to me, and I hope I will miss you all when I leave." Oh my fucking god! Like that is sickening. But we get those two kids get of course they get shocked at what they see, and they are actually left speechless, and then they hear something behind them, like approach behind them, and they were like, "Shit, we need to fucking hide." Common sense. You see one of your dead friends dead there, and then you hear something approach behind going to the truck. That must be the guy who killed him. Hide. So they hide under the truck, because they're kids, they can do that. And I was expecting a criminal, a serial killer, or at least Okasang to come, but we get disturbingly introduced to these weird creatures. Like they can talk, and they were like, I don't know what they are, but they're like fucking aliens, I guess. So let's call them aliens. These creatures, these alien-esque creatures, started walking by and talking about being hungry. And they see open the crate. They take the kid. It's like, ah, finally some fresh meat, human flesh. This shit is quality. I was like, oh my fucking god! And the children, of course, were like, oh my god, what does he mean? It's like, and one of the aliens said, fresh out of the farm. Like he gave this line about like this flesh, human flesh, is just fresh out of the farm, and like this is mine, this is all mine, and this is a very delicate product. We'll have to cook it, and then she sets a frying pan, and then opens some shit up with fire, and then after that, we just get the scene where Connie gets lifted up by the giant alien. Connie's corpse, by the way, and then if you think the first sequence wasn't fucked up enough, this was fucked up. It was just a silhouette, but Connie gets, I think, I forgot which was either happened first. I think she gets cooked or and then eaten, or I think she got just plainly eaten. Like the. I'm like, oh my fucking god, oh my god, this this is fucked up. Like this is plain legit disgusting. Like yeesh. You sick bastard. It's like, and then we hear a voice. I think I heard they were called Imelda. They called her Imelda, but it was actually Okasa. And then they started marking like children's, and then one of the aliens said, this is quite young, I know, but I think that soon we're gonna have some quite developed flesh, talking about the older children around the age of 11 and 12, that being those three kids and some other kids. I forgot that one of, but they said one of the names is going to be eaten. So the two kids run back before they get noticed. They almost got noticed when one of the aliens smelled something and then looked under the truck, only to see Connie's doll, which was supposed to be at the orphanage. So now they run back. At home, they get traumatized, and then they make this plan to leave. And then they try to tell it to Emo Kid. And then we get ended with the episode of Okasang holding Connie's teddy bear, knowing that this was supposed to be at the orphanage. And her face was like, what the fuck? Someone disobeyed my rules. Someone went out of the orphanage. Someone's gonna die. So we get ended with that, and I'm like, the fuck did I got myself into? It's like I finally moved on from Corpse Party the game, and then I finally moved on from the OVA of it. Now, and now I'm in this situation where this thing is a thing. What in God's name? But yeah, that's how the story went. Now, regardless of my opinion and reaction, this is a pretty fucking good series because it blew my mind. It threw me off. That's one of the few things anime really does that to me, like throw me off. Sometimes I even expect a magical girl, even though the scene is so normal. I really expected a magical girl to somehow appear, and that's quite predictable in this kind of kind of genres or this kind of stuff in anime world. But when I saw this, I was very off. It could have been because I stopped watching other animes for a long time, but I did not get the sense of one bit of what was gonna happen, and that was cool. And knowing that there's a horror aspect to this, that makes it even more terrifying. Makes it even better, actually. Now, regarding the how they tackle things, I love it. I totally love it. I mean the way how they handle the story, how they handle the characters, how they handled their they were giving this vibe that they were gonna go everything, they were gonna break down every barrier, every fucking disgusting thing that you can ever think of, every fucked up thing that is not supposed to be tackled to, they tackled head on. and they're trying to give this expression to you, that this impression to you that they're fucking serious about making this story. Like, it doesn't matter what it takes, we're gonna make this story as a horrifying experience as possible for you. And this was very emphasized when Connie died. They gave this introduction to this character. Connie was supposed to be just a little 8-year-old girl, an innocent 8-year-old girl who hasn't even experienced the world at all because she never left. Now leaves, and now we are being experienced with this horror, grotesque death of hers, and no one expected it. And then she gets eaten after that death. That's kind of sickening. That's fucked up. I love it because this thing is trying to say we don't care. We're gonna take it straight on. And the fact that they play on the topic of children being eaten is already enough to tell you that they are not joking around. I love it. I'm gonna watch episode 2 right after this. I don't know if I'm gonna react to it or gonna even give a review to it, but let me know what you think about this kind of anime reviews. I always love giving my opinions about stuff. I'm this kind of guy who always loves to talk about shit. You've seen me talk about shit that's not anime and lasted like a fucking 26 minutes. Like this video right now, that's actually gonna lead to 27, 28 right after I end this. But you've seen me talk about stuff like that a lot. So, do you like it? Do you enjoy me talking about stuff in this channel? If you think so, let me know. I know some of my classmates are still subscribed to me, so if you guys wanna tell me something that you wanna discuss about, that we can create a video about, and then you just guys can commentate on it. Let me know. So yeah, that's it for now though. So thanks for watching everyone. Like and favorite, subscribe, all that good stuff. I got reaction channels on my previous videos. Check out the previous video, which is about Mother Macabre's viral horror haunted house storytelling, which was fucking creepy. I cried in that video. I think I got a teary eye in that video, which was rare. No matter how scary or a horror thing is, it never makes me cry. Well, actually, I'll be honest, almost half the horror shit makes me cry and shake in my boots, but I'm a fucking pussy. But this one really stuck deep within my soul. Just because of how it was delivered, just because how the story seemed to be real. There were even proofs of it, which even creeped me the fuck out. So you see me actually checking like my surroundings every from time to time, and you see me getting teary-eyed a bit in the camera. So you should check that out. By the way, before checking that out, be sure to subscribe to Mother Cubs. I've been checking her out again, and I am actually liking her stories again, like just like the good old days. And one thing that I like is the clown. There's a clown in my house. I like that story, and I'm gonna be probably listening to it some more after this, when the time is right, and like weekends or this night maybe. But apart from anything else, I think that's about it, guys. So again, favorite, subscribe, all of that good stuff. I'm Romer Perez, also known as Gabor Kulkun, and I'll see you on the next video. See ya!